Said love Rastafari.
Yes, welcome to the Jamaica Young Police channel. To our loyal viewers and subscribers, at the channel we are a group of law-abiding citizens who believe in the rule of law and respect the rights of every citizens, but not the ones who do not subscribe to such behavior. We do believe in and support preemptive strikes because it saves lives. That is a logical conclusion because preemptive strikes save lives and prevent the further loss of lives. We are all about saving lives on this channel. We at this channel aid criminals, their financiers, their supporters, enablers, and the likes with a passion, and we do not want them over here. Yes, let us repeat ourselves. We do not want any criminal supporters over here. Please, we do not want your views, your subscriptions, your likes, or your comments. Please go elsewhere where the red carpet is waiting for you. Over here, we want you, the criminal supporters, enablers, financiers, and all the likes, to go to prison or madness. Let me repeat myself. We at the Jamaica Young Police channel, we do not want the criminal supporters on their circle over here. We want you to go to prison or madden. Moving on to our video. Yes, today I'm going to let you watch a video of a so-called imposter Rasta on the trail of blood he left behind, Spragga Benz. You're going to see him walking in a neighborhood in America. I am not going to tell you. Reason being is that someone has sent the video to me and asking me if I can identify the neighborhood where he's walking. Yes, I can, but I am not going to make it public. I know that he has many enemies who wants him going to the departure lounge. And one of the reasons why we are exposing this man, to show you that he's a fake Rasta and an imposter, is that he's talking about Rasta is love. There's nothing love about this man in him. The only love that he has for his own, for himself. So this man, Spragga Benz, we are very, very, very privy to come across Spragga Benz having a conversation with more than one person, in which there's a man by the name of Doggy who lives in Atlanta. Based on information received and obtained, Doggy is a old corrosion gang member, killer too, and Dan from East Kingston. So Spragga Benz have been able to reach out to him to say that they want to bury the hatchet and put things, bury everything and let's just live. But in essence, what he's trying to do is trying to lure Doggy to get him killed. Yes, that's it. So he has two, based on intelligence from Carlton, Spragga Benz Grand inner circle, he has two persons that he wants to see them dead. Doggy and a man named T-Pain. The reason why he said that T-Pain, and to him, based on how he talks, T-Pain is below him, because he has money and he's an international artist and nobody knows T-Pain. And T-Pain was able to have intimate relationships with two of his baby mother from East Kingston. And he was friends with T-Pain, and because of that he wants to kill T-Pain too. So he wants to kill Doggy, and we're going to tell you, that is some vengeance, war that goes back from the 2000. And we'll tell you that this man is a fraud. We're going to tell you about some cases where he has been, there are several people that this man is responsible for. These people losing their lives, going to the departure lounge. Spragga Benz live in America, so he can't sue we. We're not even saying no allege, so he can't sue we. Yeah, him can't sue we. Can't live in America too. Him can't sue we, so we can't get to expose him. And then them can't get to take away any kind of thing with him in America, because based on American laws, when it come on to his State Department and Homeland Security, once you get the American papers with a green card and you lie, that alone bar you. And I know that he hasn't put that he was a person of interest in a triple murder by the police. But as I said before, if you want to know the history about that case, the triple murder, you know, you can visit the Jamaica Young Police channel and you will see on the playlist. There's a playlist there with Spragga Benz there. So what I'll say is Carlton Spragga Benz Grand, widely known as a veteran of the Jamaican dancehall scene, is a man who wears the outward image of a Rastafari, a turban, wrapped head, a beard and colours of red, gold and green, sometimes black. But for those of us in law enforcement with first-hand knowledge of Jamaica's honor roll, this image is nothing more than a calculated disguise. What lies beneath is not a man of peace, wisdom or love for his people, but rather one, the most cunning and deadly figure ever emerged from East Kingston's criminal underbelly. Spragga Benz has built a reputation, not only in music, but as a feared gang figure whose name has surfaced time and time again in connection with violence, drug trafficking and orchestrating killings. If you notice, we don't say alleged, you know. Yes, we don't say alleged. Because one thing, you know, in America, you have a thing when you sue somebody, you have to go to court. And then you have to test, you sue the person. Then you have to go up on the stand. And you have a thing we call discovery. And you have to testify truthfully. Sometimes people end up sue people and them end up in prison. That's what going in America, you know. You understand? Because when evidence, once you lie on the oath, then them prove say you lie. I just saw it go. So we have all of the things them. We have mountain of evidence and Spragga Benz. When I just talk about just we are talking about testimonies and him thing there, you understand? So the assessment is informed by intelligence, field investigations, and conversation intercepted and recorded by Jamaican and US law enforcement. So in an unreleased video obtained and reviewed by, former Jamaican detective, constable and US resident, Christopher Sir Porter, Spragga Benz is seen strolling calmly in a quiet neighborhood in America, speaking of a long-time East Kingston rival known as Doggy. According to Porter, who was born and raised in Jonestown and Concrete Jungle, Kingston 12, community infested with the very criminal network Spragga Benz once thriving. This footage is not innocent. Spragga Benz is allegedly heard speaking in coded language about making amends with Doggy, only to plot a betrayal and assassination. This is not the only conversation that raises red flags. The name T-Pain has come up in the connection to Spragga Benz rage, a gangster accused of having relations with two of Spragga Benz baby mothers. What followed was a string of retaliatory threats suggesting a pattern of jealousy fueled by vendettas carried out under the guise of street justice. There's a long list of Jamaicans, many unnamed for their families' safety, who have met violent ends under circumstances closely associated with Spragga Benz. In some cases, he did not pull the trigger himself, but in criminal network, you don't have to. A nod, a whisper, or carefully chosen words is all it takes to set a killing in motion. A man say, boy, you just deal with him, take care of him. Yeah, man, fix the boy, all kind of language, coded language, that's how them operate. So while the world sees a charismatic, entertainer, and conscious performer, those of us from the belly of the beast, Kingston's, garrisons, communities, know better. Spragga Benz, fake Rasta persona, is nothing but camouflage. His actions betrays the principles of Rastafari: peace, justice, love, and unity. Instead, he has been linked to the destruction, division, and decades of violence that have scarred entire communities. To the supporters defending him blindly, if the voice notes, from Everton Blender's wife, Phyllis, claiming death threat from Spragga Benz circle, don't open your eyes, then perhaps you are ready to hear lies. Because if you are not ready to hear the truth, then I don't know what can change your mind if you hear that for yourself and it's on the channel. So we speak truth, backed by evidence, law enforcement experience, and moral duty to the people of Jamaica and the diaspora. We will not step exposing the corruption and deception hidden behind the beats and lyrics. Spragga Benz, your secrets are no longer safe. We see you. Yes, we know say you hate we. And yeah, and when I tell us a boy, number one, we tell you already, so we don't love people, we kill people. And we don't want a friend from you either. The Jamaican Young Police Channel, no sanctuary for criminals, no apologies for truth. The Jamaican Young Police Channel was never created to be the playground for liars, sympathizers of crime, or defenders of wrongdoers. Our mission is unshakable, to confront uncomfortable truths and expose the dark underbelly of Jamaica's criminal landscape. No matter how popular, celebrated, or culturally protected the perpetrators may be, we are not here to win popularity contest. We are here to speak truth, even when it hurts, and especially when it offends. That is why individuals like Carlton Spragga Benz Grant, who carefully cloak themselves in the garb of righteousness, Rastafari, and reggae mystique, are naturally threatened by this platform. So is Fantan Mojo. The truth shakes their image, dismantles their illusion, and reveals the man behind the mask. Spragga Benz is no innocent cultural icon. According to law enforcement sources, intelligence briefings, and community reports, many of which never make it to mainstream media, his name is closely tied to multiple acts of violence, including murder, intimidation, and drug trafficking. Coke. The Jamaican police have reportedly identified him as a known gang leader, and so called Don, whose influence has left a trail of trauma and bodies in Jamaica's most vulnerable communities. So now all I'm gun them down are south, in the laboured part. So him can't stay in a film community, so him gone down a south. Yeah, south, that's how down where Roach Sunday. Roach that I see him man where Vibes Cartel stay a prisoner and kill. Him have whole heap in between, you know. These aren't stories plucked from the air. These are credible, consistent, and documented realities, often whispered in fear by those who have lived under the shadows of his influence. Just because someone wears a turban and sings about righteousness doesn't mean they walk in it. Behind the music is a man alleged to have wreaked havoc on lives while publicly presenting himself as a cultural elder. Here at the Jamaica Young Police Channel, we do not bow to intimidation. We do not sanitize the truth to protect entertainers who, behind the scenes, are feared for their connections to Jamaica's underworld. We are not fooled by stage personas. We are guided by evidence given by justice and committed to exposing those who believe their fame made them untouchable. So let the record stand. Spragga Benz and others like him are not above accountability. Not on this channel, not in the eyes of the law, and certainly not before the court of public opinion. If you support peace, justice, and the right for Jamaicans to live free from fear and manipulation, then this channel is for you. But if you support criminals, turn a blind eye to murder, and glorify wickedness, then you were never welcome here to begin with. So that's what we tell people all the time in our intro. We don't want you over here. We are the only channel where we do that. Tell people from the get-go. If you support criminality and you're a criminal, we don't want you over here unless you're willing for change. But still, criminal come over here because they want to learn. You understand? Yeah, so but I'll let you, as we said before, I will say again, you know, when you come on to the Jamaica Young Police Channel, always watch the video today because you will learn a thing or two. Because at this channel, we are not an entertainment channel. So we have to let you listen to this man. Yeah, man, I tell you all the nice things anyway. Sound good in reality, but he doesn't practice it. So you watch, you listen, and you decide.
Fire is great. You know if you can see, we out behind me. We out behind me, you can't see it. We're going too far. Because I never really want to load him up still. But me there are the Mohawkers and I can see, and A boy across the street over the other side in a wheelchair. I'm here. So I look around and I see him. I hold up him hand, but him can't. This is him can't really, you know, talk so clear like him have a stroke or something. But him a push it. And him a say, Rasta, man. And I say, really? And him a say, Ja. And I say, yeah, man. More strength and life. Ja, Rastafari King. So you see me, no matter what. People can't always pick out the Rasta man, because more people are walk and shout at the Rasta man, know that the Rasta man is love. So all who are wear locks, it's not just a style. When people see it in another way, that people expect it to be a certain kind of way. People expect it to be understanding and compassionate. You see me? Don't disappoint the people then. Don't disappoint ya. Rastafari. Oh, the power of Rastafari is great. You know if you can't see. We out there.
Before I say again, I'm not going to tell you where, he's physically walking. If you want, you understand. Whether you want to pay me or not, I am not going to do that. For Vera, I am not. As I said over here, my job is to save life, not to contribute to the demise of people. Even although they're evil, but you have to understand that in life you have to learn to balance things. Although Spragga Benz Grant did not physically pull the trigger in the brutal killings that took place in McIntyre Villa, East Kingston, the question of moral responsibility still lingers, and for good reasons. Spragga Benz was officially named a person of interest by the Jamaica Constabulary Force in relation to a triple homicide, means that 3 people them killed, that shook the community on Friday, April 22nd, 2011. So that's over 14 years ago. Yeah, man, so the blood of these men are on Spragga Ben's shoulder. Some of the killer them dead, but, when I can't, you understand, and based on information received and obtained, only 2 is alive. We can't find out from the police at East Kingston, we don't wish to. So despite this fact, he was reportedly abroad at the time, touring the United States. His alleged indirect connections to individuals or circumstances surrounding the crime warrant serious scrutiny. So the thing is not know why the police them name him as a person of interest. At the time, the police them, they were able to record Spragga Ben's attack with one of the same man now him say one for kill now and the one named TPN. They're on the phone talking about the killing. So that was the evidence that they had. But guess what? The police had obtained the evidence illegally. So that's why them couldn't charge Spragga Benz to the triple murder. So that's how him get away with the triple murder. So not because, if it was America and them get it illegal, them find way to make it legal. But in Jamaica, you understand? And because him a entertainer, but at the time, the police them mess up big time. So they knew that he was them have him on a surveillance, and that's one of the main reasons why I'm losing him gun. Them have him on a surveillance, and all they had to do was to do the necessary, and them would have him right there then and there with him own words would have sent Spragga Benz to prison. So he when him in a court, he would have listened to him own self attack, I testify against himself in the triple murder of the men them. So we continue the journey. Yeah. So according to the Gleaner, the dancehall entertainer was asked to report to East Kingston police by 2 p.m. Sunday, April 24th, yet he failed to comply. Instead, Spragga Benz claimed through the media that he was willing to cooperate with law enforcement and would have his legal team handle the matter in his absence. But the real issue here is deeper than geographical distance or legal representation. This is a matter of influence, association, and moral weight that carried by public figures, especially in volatile communities. The crime, On the night in question, gunmen armed with high-power weapons descended on a shop in McIntyre Villa, where several individuals gathered to watch TV. In a hail of bullets, 3 men lost their lives. Peter Stumpy Escoffrey, 49, a well-known resident of the area, Madan. Then you have Kenrick Ronkus Richards, a man from Lincoln Terrace, and a third identified man who succumbed to his injuries at hospital. So the scene was one of calculated violence, not random chaos. Witnesses recounted that the assailants arrived in a vehicle, exited with automatic rifle, and fired with precision, a methodical execution style assault. So them say one of the killer was there in our shop too. You understand? Yeah, and so the man them come and then him just left with the killer them. Spragga Benz may not have been in Jamaica, and no evidence has publicly confirmed that he have gave any orders. But in a country like Jamaica, where music, criminal underworlds and garrison politics often intersect, proximity to power and influence is everything. For decades, entertainers have wielded immense influence in inner city communities. Their lyrics, associates, and sometimes silent endorsements a shape culture of violence or defiance against authority. So whether Spragga Benz had a direct involvement or not, he cannot escape the reality that his name being linked to a triple murder raises serious moral and societal questions. If any of the gunmen were close as affiliates of Spragga Benz or acted in a misguided attempt to settle scores on his behalf, then he bear moral responsibility for the atmosphere he has helped foster, intentionally or not. What should have happened? Spragga Benz, instead of merely releasing a statement through his lawyer, should have taken the bold and transparent stance. As a role model, especially to Jamaican youth, he should have flown home, faced the authorities directly, and used the opportunity to publicly denounce violence, particularly if he truly had nothing to hide. Running or hiding, even if for logistical reasons, creates a vacuum filled with suspicion. Lessons for Jamaica and the diaspora. This situation illustrates why entertainers must be held to a higher ethical standard, not just in their lyrics or public appearance, but in their actions. When serious allegations arise, Jamaica's violent crime epidemic is fueled not just by gangs and politics, but also by cultural figures who straddle both sides of the law, intentionally or inadvertently. Let this be a moment of reflection. When your name is whispered in the same breath as bloodshed, you have a duty to speak loudly and clearly for peace, justice, and accountability. Silence or distance is not enough. Not when lives are lost. Not when our entire community are left traumatized. So one of the most haunting and controversial chapter in Jamaica's entertainment underworld is the unresolved or unsolved murder of Philip Linton. Him call him Arrows, the CEO of iconic Arrows recording studio. This is another man that is linked to Spragga Benz. We have so many murder that his name has been featured in. As we say, he's not behind the trigger, but he's the man who's behind the operation. He just, give the wink or the nod or just use certain words and him know what to do. On March 1st, 2004, Arrows that was gunned down within the very walls of his studio. A space that had once been a creative sanctuary for countless musicians. His death sent shockwave, fear and silence throughout the music fraternity. What was once a vibrant cornerstone of Jamaican recording industry became a symbol of how closely intertwined the entertainment world had become with the island's violent undercurrents. But as the bullets, shells were swept away, What remained were whispers, some soft, others piercing, with one name echoing loud than most: Carlton Spragga Benz Grant. Yes, Spragga Benz. See man, I tell us a Rasta love. This are the man, we're giving the break. We bust him. And him kill the man because him there with the man's wife. Kill the man, Yes. When I say no alleged, as we tell you already, so we have everything we do over here, so we always have a receipt. Can't stand the test of time. We don't make statement because we just love chat. We say things because we expose the truth. So according to the insiders, other people in the industry are members of the law enforcement familiar with the case. The origin of the alleged conflict stemmed from a substantial debt, reportedly over $3 million Jamaican dollars, that Linton was said to have owed. Smokes in Mirror. Tension allegedly escalated when Linton refused to settle the matter, and that might have been a financial dispute among businessmen turned into a life or death conflict. Though no one has ever been officially charged, the connection, association and testimonies from those who live close to these circles have kept the suspicion alive for over 2 decades. But the story doesn't exist in isolation. To understand the environment in which this tragedy occurred, one must delve into the violent, tangled web of East Kingston, where music, politics and criminal network, three head of the CMBs. In these zones, reputations are built not only through lyrics and rhythm, but also through control, loyalty and often fear. And that's a reality. So, the traded beast, that's just dangerous. In these zones, I would tell you, reputation are built not only through lyrics and rhythm, but also through control, loyalty and for fear. So when a man I tell you, say, boy, these people, they don't want nobody love them, they want you to fear them, like them are God. Because them decide if you live or you die. So that's why as an old detective, when I was police, guys, people who kill people, me hate them with a passion. And me just treat them how they're supposed to be treated. To understand, these people, in one related case, the assassination of well-known Dan Stumpy from Dunkirk, lit a fuse that burned through Kingston criminal network like wildfire. It said that his death was not just a killing, but an insult, a power move that triggered a cycle of vengeance. Daggy, another infamous Dan and close associate of Stumpy, allegedly swore revenge, and according to insiders, that revenge led to confrontation with individuals in Spragga Benz orbit. One particularly chilling account involved a robbery that reads more like a military operation than a street ambush. Six rifle and 10 handguns, so a 16 gun that them thief from Spragga Benz were allegedly stolen from a man known only by his alias as Red Square. But Red Square was no random victim. He was the man who styled himself as a shadow of Spragga Benz. Him dressed like him and have him roll up in pants and behave like him. From his attire to his walk, from his slang to his crew, Red Square was seen by many as a living extension of Spragga Benz brand and presence in the streets. However, Red Square's affiliation did not shield him. And we are getting photograph from East Kingston Police and him full name. After reportedly being ambushed and beaten by a group affiliated with Daggy and Stumpy, Red Square was disgraced, forced into hiding. He was allegedly made to cut his dreadlocks, a symbolic stripping of pride and power in Rasta and dancehall culture, and vanish from public view. Some say he was lucky to escape with his life. So him living in America now too. Still in contact with Spragga Benz. It's just us to, release him. So Spragga Benz make him get visa through the music. So we tell us the music is a criminal underworld, Yeah, the music is just a front for criminality. So as the vendetta played out, fear gripped the streets and silence become currency. One telling piece of the puzzle was the sudden abandonment of a well-known uptown residence owned by Spragga Benz. The property was vacated hastily leaving neighbour and industry figures to speculate. The street talk was blunt. Spragga run, left the house and never looked back. Was it fear? Was it guilt? Or was it self-preservation? We may never know, but what's undeniable is that this series of events left a mark, not just on the streets, but on Jamaica's soul. So these are not isolated incidents. They are part of a recurrent pattern in Jamaican culture where violence and artistry cohabitate uncomfortably, especially in communities where power is measured not just by microphone decibels, but the sound of gunfire. People hear the shot them, why somebody just kill somebody. To dismiss these events as mere coincidence or street gossip would be intellectually dishonest. Time and time again, we see dancehall figures caught in the crossfire, sometimes figuratively, sometimes literally, of street justice, political manipulation, and criminal enterprise. And too often, the consequences are deadly. At the Jamaica Young Police Channel, we do not tell these stories to glorify gunmen or idolize badness. We bring these truths to highlight and expose and educate, to warn and to shift cultural narrative. Our mission is rooted in justice, lawfulness, and a power of truth, not rumor. We urge the youths of Jamaica to think critically. Fame built on fear is fleeting. Influence built on intimidation is not success. It's a trap. You end up a prison or the departure alone. So let the story serve not as entertainment, but as a cautionary tale. The blur line between microphone and murder weapon must be clear, and it starts by demanding accountability from artists, from communities, and ourselves. So I will tell you how this is Spragga Benz, not only him a fraud, but him fake. And this is a man who is responsible for the murder of a few Jamaicans, many. If you want to get a full background about this man, let's go to the Jamaica Young Police Channel, because we have all of the inside information about him, straight from in a CIB headquarters. Have yourself a beautiful day. Jamaica Young Police Channel out.